I'm going to show you how you can create a short-form vertical video from an existing long-form widescreen video in Davinci Resolve. There are two ways that you can do this. If you would rather take the full project and cut it into a short, this is how you do that. You go into the Media tab, right-click on the timeline, create new timeline using selected clips. When you select that, you'll see a pop-up window that says Create New Timeline. Give it a unique name, and before you hit Create, you want to deselect Use Project Settings. Why do you want to deselect that? If you don't, your project's going to be widescreen just like your last project. As soon as you deselect the checkbox of Use Project Settings, go to Format. If you hit the drop down, there are different options of timeline resolutions. That way, if you have a specific resolution you want to use, you have that option. But the easy way to do this is to just select Use Vertical Resolution, hit Create. What this does is it takes your full video and duplicates that timeline into a vertical format. That's probably the easiest way to do it. If your video is 5 minutes long, you have the option to go in there, cut it up, get rid of the other clips, and create your short. The other way to do it is to create a blank slate timeline that you're going to use the other project to copy and paste into. How do we do that? Go into the Edit tab. You want to hit, on a Mac, it's Command N, a PC, it's Control N, and you're going to get the same pop-up window of Create New Timeline. Everything that we did for that setup is going to apply to this setup. Give it a unique name, deselect Use Project Settings, go into Format, select Use Vertical Format. When you do this, you notice that you just have a blank timeline, and you're probably thinking, what do I do next? There are two ways that we can do this. Number one is display stacked timelines. Above the timeline name, there's a little checkbox. Hit Display Stacked Timelines. And you should see this, the name of your current timeline, and then a plus marker. If you hit the plus marker, you have the option to select timeline. I'm going to scroll down and select shorts. Now nothing's there yet because we didn't actually put any video into it. So what you want to do is go into your timeline, and let's say I just want to create a short from this particular clip right here. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to copy it, Command C, and I'm going to paste it. And you'll notice in the timeline that video went from widescreen to vertical. There's another way that you can do it, which is if you come over to the right-hand side of the viewer, you'll see this plus icon. And what that does is it opens up room for another timeline to show up underneath your current timeline. In order to access the project, make sure that it's not open in the top timeline. Scroll down and select the short format timeline. From there, what you can do is copy and paste from the top timeline to the bottom. You can also drag the clips from the top to the bottom. It will not remove or disturb the original project that you have in the top timeline. It'll just drag that clip down into the timeline underneath. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's really a matter of what is going to be easier for you and for your workflow. When it comes to the framing of the vertical short, if you want to make any adjustments, go up to the inspector at the top right-hand side under the Video tab. Position X is going to move the video left to right, position Y up and down. If you do have the studio version, what you can do is there's a smart reframe option underneath the transform tab. Object of interest is auto or reference point. And so with reference point, if I select him and I hit reframe, if he moves, that framing will move with him. If you have the free version, it's going to take a little bit extra work to add keyframes, but all I have to do is using the position X. So let's say I wanted to start the frame here, add a keyframe by hitting the diamond icon. When you hit the first keyframe, any other position you adjust as the playhead moves will automatically add a keyframe for you. So now if I play this clip, you'll see that it's kind of doing a slow pan across him. So what about those fancy titles where the words show up as you're talking? You can do that in Davinci Resolve, but it's going to take a lot of time. What I prefer to use is VN. CapCut is an option, and even on the free version, you're limited with the font type and palettes that you can use. There are a few caveats to consider based on which platform you're going to showcase your short. You want to be aware that at the top and at the bottom portion of the frame is going to have the play bar, the title, the first few words of the description. So we try not to put any text too close to that because it will get hidden. Now, if you don't want to create the shorts yourself, there are programs out there like Opus Clip. It'll look for trending words and topics and phrases, and it'll sort of give you a report card as to, this topic is a hot topic right now. This one should do well. You're limited to what you can fix. You can fix some of the front of it, some of the tail of it. I end up just going back into the project and creating that clip. It's kind of like they said, hey, we have this idea, and then you have to go in and fix it yourself. It gives you a little bit more control over the short form content that you're making. So, do you think this is easy to do? Is it something that you do with projects that you're working on in Davinci Resolve? Is there some type of shortcut or other way of doing this? Please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Thanks.